it took me a minute to get myself organized after getting out of the Walmart parking lot where we spent the night. I kept having difficulty connecting to my Apple CarPlay, and then I finally realized that Barb was still connected to my hotspot on my phone, and so my CarPlay wasn't connecting because it didn't want to knock her off. But got that all straightened out, so here we go. Today is Tuesday, August the 19th, and today we are heading for Glacier National Park. Woohoo! That's one of my bucket list items. And although we will be driving on going to the Sun Road, we will not be going all the way across the top of it. Could not figure out a way to do that without having it be a hassle. We are taking a red bus car tour on Thursday. I'm pretty excited about that. And let's see, the temperature at the moment is 73 degrees. In this area that we are going to be leaving behind, the high today is going to be, I think, 96 or 98, which is just cray-cray. The high today in Glacier is going to be 88, but I think on Thursday it's going to be like 70. And overnight lows are going to be down into the possibly high 40s. So that'll be exciting as well. We do have a quirky stop planned along the way. We'll see if it turns out to be a stop or if it's just going to be a drive-by. When I know, you'll know. And in the meantime, we got 120 miles until we get there. I'll probably be stopping once on the way there. We've got about 180 miles altogether to go today, I think. And yeah, we'll see what we end up with. As always, thank you for coming along for the ride.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Welcome to Chester. Let's see what Chester has to offer. Entering Chester. Well, we got a Napa Auto Parts, Roadhouse Bar and Casino, so we pulled into the little rest area back there, which was quite nice. Chester has a great rest area. It's got a free RV dump. It's got bathrooms. It's got water spigots, so if you got a long enough hose, you could hook up and fill up. We don't need to do any of those things. It's got a lot of industry and a railroad track. But a nice little rest area back there, so if you're coming through, give it a stop. And you know, maybe even plan your water and dump fill around there, because finding them for free is always a bonus. And apparently water is only on in the summer months, so just an FYI there. Alright, and I guess this is the end of Chester. Bye, Chester! Huh, wonder what Fort Benton is. I don't know, but you always have to leave something to come back for, right? This is Shelby. Well, this end of Shelby is not particularly attractive. The landscape is, the industry not so much. And we can see a train on the left, and we got trains on the right. So interesting that we've got train tracks on both sides of the highway. They must cross up ahead. Someplace that there has to be a switching yard around here, I would imagine. I'm also a little bit surprised that both plants aren't on the same side of the road, it seems it would have been easier to have a single track. They probably still would have had to have double tracks so they could be loading trains at both plants simultaneously. Port of Shelby. Huh. I don't think there's any water near here. And we're going to actually make a turn. Oh look, there's a third train way over there to the left. So yeah, this is quite the little industrial town. Okay, now we're officially entering Shelby. Oh goody, we're going to have to wait for a train. Are they doing manual switching? Interesting. See the guy right over here on the left-hand side of the road with the beard? Manually switching. Interesting. Quiet, please. Well, you don't get to see this very often anymore. Huh. Hardy board. Okay. Well, that was fun. I actually worked on the railroad for about 25 years. I had an engineering consulting company, and most of what we did was passenger rail transit. Oh, there's an Amtrak station here too, it looks like. Well, it's a very, very busy train center. Cool. It's a kind of cute little downtown. It actually looks like it's still pretty vibrant. There's the Griddle restaurant. Nice. Cool. Pretty church up ahead. Business Loop 15. Interesting that there must be an Interstate 15 in this area. For the longest time, I thought that there was only, you know, like one Interstate 405, one Interstate 605, and so on. But that's not true. And we got plenty more train action up ahead here. And we're going to be waiting for a few more cars because I couldn't see. But I think we've seen all the stuff that's interesting to see here, so I won't bore you with any more of it. Welcome to Cut Bank. million barrels of oil, million barrels of gas. It's the North Oil Center. Now we know. I had no idea. We are going to hopefully check out a quirky thing here. Cut Bank claims to be the coldest spot in, I think, the United States, maybe North America, maybe Montana. I'm not sure. Here, it's going to come into view right around the corner. Here it is. We stopped here because it claims to be the coldest spot in the nation. And it's marked with the penguin. What do you think about that? Not like a little quirky stop along the way, is there? What do you think, Kit? See the penguin? Yeah, there we go. Well, we saw our penguin. And now we're going to get some fuel. And then we've got only an hour to go until we get to Glacier. So that'll be cool, huh? That'll be cool. Cut Bank, huh? Well, I don't think we're on Main Street. In fact, I know we're not on Main Street. We're on Railroad Avenue. Highway 2 is over to the left of us. And I guess it merges back together with Highway 2 as we get through town. Chuck's Tire. Chuck's Paint and Body. Chuck must be a popular guy. I guess that's downtown Cut Bank to the left. That does not look all that prosperous. It only runs for about a block and pretty much everything looked boarded up. There's an Albertsons here. I can't remember how long it's been since I've seen an Albertsons.
Merge onto West Main Street, then turn left onto 5th Avenue Southwest.
Well, this will be a little complicated, maybe. Canada to the right. Oh, we are right up by the north, I guess.
Turn left onto 5th
Wow.
Avenue Southwest, then turn right.
Oops.
Turn right, then your destination.
All gassed up. So in the last tank fill, we got almost 11 mpg. And this time we got 8.76. So I guess it kind of averages out.
Head southwest on US 2 West, West Main Street toward 1st Street Southwest. Continue on US 2 West for 34 miles.
Okay, our next turn is in 34 miles. Our destination is in 63. Woohoo! So Browning is 34 miles. East Glacier is 47. Here we go. Yeah, look at that. I guess the landscape's starting to change a little bit. So we will see what we can see today. Well, look up ahead out there in the distance under the haze of the Canadian wildfires. I see mountains. Been quite a while since we've seen any mountains. I've missed my mountains. I guess that's what, you know, traveling in the plains is all about. And thinking about it from the pioneer's perspective, I imagine, except for the Badlands, crossing the plains was a whole lot easier than crossing the mountains. So when they saw the mountains, they were probably disdained. No, that's not the right word. So when they saw the mountains, they were probably disappointed, disturbed, concerned. Let's use those words about how they were going to manage to get across them. Got another set of rail operations going on over here. Looks like they were doing some track maintenance along the way there. And this little train with the 4 boxcars, sorry, not boxcars, hopper cars, probably has repair material in them. Oh yeah, looks like we got a bunch of ties laid down alongside the roadway there, railway. And yet, the trains must continue on. Here comes one now. This has been quite the summer. We've seen a lot of different things and we're not done yet. I'm pretty excited about getting to Glacier today. And I'm really excited about staying in the same campsite for 3 nights there. And I think the Red Bus tour will just be awesome. So yeah, pretty exciting day lined up. We see a glacier straight ahead. Hopefully that's not what is called many glaciers. Sure is nice to see some mountains up ahead there. Been a while. So we're just a mile from a turn. And then 30 miles from the visitor center apparently. And I guess this is the town of Browning. Temperature's up to about 85 degrees here. Home of the Blackfoot Nation. Glacier Little Peaks Casino. Up there. Well, it says US 2 goes that way. It says we're going this way. I don't understand this. I guess this is all part of Google's taking this on what it considers to be the most fuel efficient route. Because I just looked at the written directions and it appears that we're going in the right direction, I guess. Kind of weird. But I think we're officially on the road less traveled. Travel port on the right.
13 miles.
Alright, so our next turn is on the US 89 north in 13 miles. Interesting. I wonder if we're just going to come meet up with the main part of town here. See what happens. I wonder what happened to US 2. Where did that go? It's a little disconcerting. Well, we're back on a 70-mile-an-hour road. The view is getting a little more impressive. I have to say, I have no idea what to expect at Glacier. Really, all I've seen are portions of the Going to the Sun Road up over the top of the pass. And we have been gaining elevation. We're up to about 4,600 feet now, where for days we've been at about 2,300 feet. And I have no idea what the elevation of the campground is. But we'll see as we get there. So I wonder what this little community is. And why does it look so derelict? There's a loose dog over there. Several more over here to the right. Oh, there's another one right there. Alright, I don't understand. I saw a whole bunch of vehicles with a whole bunch of trash and stuff strewn around. Why would you choose to live like that? I've never understood not keeping your area at least tidy. I've never understood allowing oneself to live in squalor. I mean, it's one thing to live in less than ideal circumstances, but that doesn't mean you need to have trash spread around all over the place. And especially when your backyard is this beautiful, why wouldn't you want it all to be beautiful? You know, all of the 2,040 feet now, but just look at this landscape. Isn't this beautiful? We're going to be turning on to US 89 north in about a mile. It's odd, we haven't seen any signs for Glacier. I have no idea what road we're actually on. I think, well, it was called School Star Road, but I don't think it has a route number. And we still have about 15 miles to go to get to the visitor center. I'm pretty sure this is just a case of Google deciding to reroute us in the way that it thinks is most fuel efficient, rather than the typically prescribed routing to get to Glacier. But look at it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, I tell you. Pretty river running next to us to the left. Well, there's the Cut Bank campground down there to the left. So, we made reservations this morning at the St. Mary campground. Let's let this guy get past me. And I've been looking at it for the past week or so. And starting on it August 15th.
And look to the left, it's gorgeous with the trees and then the light baby mountains. It's beautiful.
Welcome to Glacier. So then what I figured out a couple of days ago was that once they release the campsites for the day, you can make multiple day reservations. And I looked yesterday afternoon, probably about 5 o'clock or so, and at 5 o'clock there were still like 15 or 17 campsites available. But as I looked at them fairly closely, a lot of them indicated that they had a moderate slope. So my thought was I didn't want to be in the position where we wait to get there today and then find out that all that's left is something with a moderate slope. So we picked a couple of sites this morning, we made reservations, and I'm hopeful that they aren't going to be too off camber. But we made reservations for 3 nights, so I'm pretty excited about that. And hopefully I chose well. And I will share, part of the way that I chose was by using the OnX Off-Road app, where I, wow, just gorgeous, where I was able to look at the 3D views, and I could look at the slope more easily. So I'm not sure if I really chose well or not, but I did the best I could, and we'll find out. And in the meantime, we are rapidly picking up elevation. We're almost up to 5,500 feet. Now we are. So that was like 400 feet pretty quickly, huh? And climbing. And temperature's down to 80 degrees already. It might actually be much cooler than I expected up here. I might have to put on more clothes. Wow. And I don't really want to run the heat because I don't have a whole lot of propane. So I'll need to get propane when we leave here. 75 in elevation. Oh, and the speed limit's only 50 and I'm going 60. Guess I should slow down. Wow. You're not seeing it yet. I'm looking off to the left. I think when we go around this corner, you're going to see it again. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. Just in the edge, just in the corner of your screen. Wow. So it makes it pretty clear why some of these places have been protected, right? Pretty spectacular. Looks like somebody's got their horses out for a ride. South Fork of the Milk River. We have crossed the Milk River a number of times. At least today, and I think yesterday as well. Just beautiful. Well, look at that. I guess that might be many glaciers over there to the right. Wow. We are up to 6,000 feet. Almost. 5960 in elevation. Wow. Well, this is quite the roadway, too. Be bear aware. Apparently there are grizzlies here. I don't think I've ever been in an area where grizzlies are active. But from some of the campground reviews that I was reading, the review said that the campground host came by to tell them about the grizzlies and best practices. I'm pretty sure I already do those things since I don't have food outside and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Wow. That just seems so inadequate, doesn't it? And we're still 5.3 miles from the visitor center. Look at how dark the side of the mountain is as we come around this corner. Of course, it's about to get hidden behind all the trees, I think. Well, this is pretty amazing. Temperature's down to 76 degrees. Look at that lake out there. I'm guessing that's probably St. Mary Lake.
It is a pad. I'd like to try to get a picture of that with the lake.
Yeah, I don't want to do it off to the left though. You can if you want to. And I am recording. Oh, look at that. Wow. Wow, that's just gorgeous. Hope you're getting some of this.
I'm gonna take that turn out.
Okay. Let's see what we get around the next corner, huh? And we're below 5,000 feet now. They're going to let you get this far and then close the road. Maybe they keep you from leaving, would be my guess. Entering St. Mary. Got a cafe and stuff there. Okay. Well, Barb stopped to look at a overlook and take a picture. I think I am going to go ahead and go to the visitor center. Kit, don't start. Don't start. I know. I know. Are you excited? It's very exciting, isn't it? Alright, let's get the picture. We're going to get the picture of the people taking their picture, because that's how I do the national park picture signs. Bear country. All wildlife is dangerous. Do not approach or feed. Historic 1913 Ranger Station and Red Eagle Lake Trail. St. Mary Visitor Center, and going to the Sun Road straight ahead. So you have to go up going to the Sun Road. Ooh, I hope there's going to be parking here at the visitor center. This could be tight. Low clearance. Yellow. I don't understand what that means. Oh, green is all vehicles. Oh, okay, so we got to go this way. That was a confusing sign to me. Here we go. All right. So we're going to wait here for a little while so that we can show our park pass and get in. And then we're going to go check out the visitor center, assuming I can find a parking place there. You're going to get a voiceover for this part because Kit was barking incessantly, as you can probably see from the inset. So here's what happens. Every time I pull into a parking lot or I slow down like we're going to be stopping, or the GPS says you have arrived or you've reached your destination, he just starts barking like a fool. And I have been working really hard to try and get this under control. Maybe this year we'll get it done. But I wanted to bring you through the parking lot here. If you are in an RV, it is going to be difficult to park. And we're going to loop all the way around so that you can see this. There are some RV spaces, but apparently there are many more RVs than there are RV spaces. So I'm going to speed up this portion of the video just so that you don't spend nearly as much time as I did looking for a space. I just wanted you to see what it looks like. Okay, well that became very complicated. But now we're going to go to the campground. How about that? How about that, Kit? Let's just go to the campground. And then we can walk over. Look at that view. Okay. I have to say, oh, St. Mary River Bridge, built in 1935. Very pretty. Huh, wonder if you can get into the water. There's a park ranger. Hi, park ranger. St. Mary Campground, next right. So I think making our reservation hopefully is going to turn out to be perfect. Hopefully I chose well. Yeah, it's about 1:30 now. Oh good, there is a dump station. Oh, do we have to stop here? Huh. Okay, so I guess we gotta check in. Oh, and we were following that RV out of whatever the last town was. I think that was Browning. Bears enter this campground. Store all food and vehicle. All wildlife is dangerous. Do not approach or feed. And, you know, it's kind of like, don't pet the fluffy cows. Okay, so Loop C, we can go off here to the left. Boy, I hope I didn't choose something that's going to be like way on level. So is this is me, right? That does say 101, yeah. Alright. Gonna be tight. Oh, and there's a water spigot. I can run 100 feet of hose. Well, this site's a little tight, but it's pretty.
The sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbye.